ladies aren't here, I'm sure Dan and Sarah will pass on. Thank you very much for all that they've done to help this event, because suddenly I realised I hadn't arranged anything and went over and went, what do I do? And so they've organised so much. And also, when you see, they've just been so good to us, helping us get this place. We've been looking for a year, and they've been really, really kind to us, and anything I've asked for, I'm just awful with me, are just wonderful. So thank you to them, and thank you to lots of other people. We need to say thank you to Adrian. Where's Adrian? There's Adrian, and Sal, who's not here, Woody, who's not here, my husband Jan, who's not here, and Jim, who's not here, and Den. Have I forgotten anyone else? Dennis. Colin, do you need to do something with Katia?
Oh yes.
The guys, it's really good. We've got the place, and you'll see it's really good in there. And when we got it, there was the kitchen and the bathroom and the office and another room, and that was it. And these guys, I just said what I wanted. They knew what would work, and they built it, and they were just amazing. Dan, where has he gone now? Oh, Dan especially, because Dan was unemployed for a bit, and he gave all his time to us, and he was here like from 8 o'clock in the morning some days and working till 6, and just doing all the little bits that are really unimportant to most people but have made it work. So Dan, can you come here, please? So we've got a special thank you to Dan, so can you give him a round of applause, please? Oh, can I get in there? He rushed back from Blackpool just so he could give you a kiss. Wow. Okay. As much as we love Dan, and I love all my volunteers, and thank you to all of them, because whilst they were building, of course, the volunteers were doing all the hard work back in the base, and it'd be really sad to not give them recognition for all the hard work that they've done. And it's working really well. And now I'm going to introduce you to Ben, because none of you will know who he is. Ben is my absolute hero.
You've done that long. Oh, that's a bit nasty.
That was sarcasm. Everyone knows who Ben is. Sorry. I'm good at this.
Is he the guy off Radio Wales?
Yeah! He's deserted us. But Ben has just been so significant in our growth. Radio Pembrokeshire and the local media. No, the ladies are coming over now. I've said thank you to you. You've missed it. These are the Quayside Estate ladies that I said have done so much to help us. And we got Barry, so we can have a street party. Anyway, Ben has travelled 1 million miles to be here. Gareth was actually the first guy in Radio Pembrokeshire that ever interviewed me, but then Ben with the toy appeal, which is just fantastic, and you can't cope without Radio Pembrokeshire with that. And you interviewed me, and then he interviewed me, and he interviewed me, and carried on interviewing me, and got us a load of publicity, and that with the Telegraph as well. It's made a huge difference to us. So Ben is my hero. So I'll hand over to him, and I'm going to shut up.
I'm going to cut this ribbon. Blimey, I've not used the microphone for so long, and it's a bit weird to hear myself on one again. So before we cut the ribbon, I'll just say a few brief words, and I am a bit out of practice, so I'm going to keep it as brief as I can. But Tracy just spoke about the work we did at Radio Pembrokeshire supporting Patch, and it was always a pleasure to do that. And through the Christmas toy appeal, we handed over hundreds of toys each year to Tracy and the team, and they would ensure that they were distributed to needy families from all over the county. And it was always one of the highlights of the year to come to Patch and hand those over. But for me, it was more than that, because every time I spoke to Tracy and every time I met the volunteers, I was always struck with how humble they were and how dedicated they were to actually supporting people who needed it in the county. And Tracy would always say to me that without the generosity of the Pembrokeshire public and of businesses and of organisations and the general public, Patch wouldn't survive. And I'd always agree with her on that. However, today, I just thought it might be a good opportunity as we open this amazing new base officially, that Tracy and the team are just selfish for a few moments, because actually it's without Tracy and all of the volunteers giving up their time for no financial reward, without them, Patch certainly wouldn't exist. And I think volunteers play such a big part in society, and I think we should put on record today and actually want the volunteers to never lose sight of the really important and excellent work they're all doing. So can I have a round of applause, please, for Tracy and everyone here who gives up their time to actually make Patch work. And just before we cut the ribbon, I'm going to just tell you a quick story, because Tracy always says that I gave her media training, and it's true. We do a number of interviews on Radio Pembrokeshire. She was on there probably more than me at one point, actually. She didn't need much media training because she was so passionate about her topic, which was Patch. And the first time we did an interview, it was a pre-record, and I asked her to explain the work that Patch were doing in Pembrokeshire in a nutshell. So I asked her the first question, I hit record, and that was it. Tracy was off. I was able to go make a cup of coffee, paint the studio walls, clean the outside windows, and resurface the tarmac in the car park while she answered that first question. But I am joking now, actually, because we all know that a tarmac job in Pembrokeshire wouldn't be done that quickly again. But it was her passion that she displayed, and that's displayed by everyone here today and everyone that supports Patch, that makes me really proud to be here. And I've always kept an interest over the last 18 months since I left Radio Pembrokeshire. So I'm really proud to be here. I'm really honoured that you actually asked me to come and do this today, because in all the time I worked here, I never cut a ribbon, so it's quite exciting. So let's get down to business. Let's cut the ribbon and ensure that in the future, Patch continues to support individuals and families at times when they need it most. This is the most amazing of counties. It's great to be back here today, and I wish you all lots of luck for the future, and I hope you'll be very happy in this new base.
I think Colin's got something to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I've been asked by Tracy to thank the lovely Ben for coming down. So thank you very, very much, and that's in our appreciation. Oh, shall I put it down for you? That's in our appreciation. Thank you very much for coming down, Ben. But what I would personally like to add is I'd also like to say that obviously as a volunteer, now I didn't do an awful lot last year, but I'm back. And don't forget now we are open on a Monday as well as Wednesdays and Thursdays. There's a little plug. But there is one other person apart from all the lovely volunteers, and that is Tracy. Now, she works very, very hard. So I won't bore you anymore, but if we could just have a round of applause for Tracy. Thank you.
Now we're going to have a look, and there'll be food.
Turn it off.
Yeah, really.